Level 1. The initiation.
You are sitting in front of a government portal at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. You have a law degree, 3 years of work experience, and a background clean enough to survive what is coming. The FBI requires you to be between 23 and 36 years old, a U.S. citizen, and physically capable of things your current lifestyle has not been preparing you for. You submit the application. Then comes the written exam. Then the physical fitness test, 300-meter sprint, sit-ups, push-ups, 1.5-mile run. Then a conditional appointment. Then a polygraph. Then a background investigation so thorough that investigators will call your roommate from university, your manager from 3 jobs ago, and the neighbor you barely know. The whole process takes between 1 and 2 years. Most people fail somewhere in it. You don't. Level 2. New Agent Trainee, FBI Academy, Quantico, Virginia. You are running. Not jogging, running. 1.5 miles in under 11 minutes with people who will not slow down for you. Before this, 300 meters of sprints. Before that, sit-ups until your body decided it was finished and you told your body it was wrong. You are one of 35 people in your class. Every one of them has a degree. Some have law degrees. One has a PhD in biochemistry. You all live in the same dormitory, eat in the same dining hall, and spend the next 20 weeks learning to think like the federal government's most sophisticated investigators. Quantico is 547 acres on a Marine Corps base, 40 miles south of Washington. There are firing ranges, a gymnasium, an aquatic center, and a mock town called Hogan's Alley, built with help from Hollywood set designers, where actors play bank robbers and terrorists, and you practice what happens when everything goes wrong. You will fire every weapon the Bureau issues. You need an 80 or above to qualify. You study federal law, behavioral science, forensic science, interrogation, cybercrime, counterintelligence, and ethics. You learn to interview. You practice being lied to. At the end of 20 weeks, you walk across a stage. Someone pins a badge to your chest that reads Federal Bureau of Investigation. You take an oath. Then they hand you orders for a field office you did not choose, in a city you may never have visited, and tell you to report Monday morning. You earn $81,000 a year, plus 25% availability pay. Because the Bureau owns your schedule now, and you said yes to that when you signed. Level 3. Special Agent. Your first 2 years are the most boring and most important of your career. You are assigned to a squad, maybe organized crime, maybe cyber, maybe public corruption. Your supervisor is a supervisory special agent who has 10 years on you and no patience for mistakes in paperwork. You run surveillance. You sit in a car for 6 hours watching a window. You interview witnesses who don't want to talk and subjects who talk too much. You write reports that will be read by prosecutors, judges, and juries. You write them again when they're not right. You write them a third time. Your badge opens doors. Literally. Federal authority means you can walk into rooms that other law enforcement cannot, subpoena records that would take a state detective months to get, and wire a room with a court order that took 3 weeks to obtain. You have one informant. He is unreliable, motivated by money, and occasionally lying to you. He is also the best source you have on a crew that has been moving product through 3 states for 4 years. You manage him carefully. You don't trust him. You use him. One of your cases takes 3 years to build. When you finally execute the warrant, you are standing at a door at 6 a.m. with your weapon drawn and your heart doing something it has never done before. The door opens. Nobody runs. You earn $95,000 a year by year 5. You have not had a weekend completely free since you were sworn in. Nobody outside the Bureau knows what you actually do. At parties, you say federal law enforcement, and people nod and immediately ask someone else about their job. You have practiced making this seem less than it is. You are very good at it now. Level 4. Supervisory Special Agent. You stop making cases. This is the part nobody warned you about. You run a squad of 8 to 10 agents. You review their work. You sign their paperwork. You fight for their resources in meetings with people 2 floors up who make decisions based on spreadsheets. When one of your agents makes an error in a 302 interview report, you sit across from them and explain, with patience you have built specifically for this, exactly why that error costs the entire investigation. You are good at this. You did not know you would be good at this. You thought you would miss the field work more than you do. You miss it some days. Most days, you are too busy. You manage 2 informants now, not because they're yours, but because an agent on your squad burned one and you had to absorb the fallout. You had a conversation with a confidential human source at 10 p.m. on a Saturday that you will not fully describe to your family. The source gave you something useful. You wrote it up and forwarded it upstairs. Your squad closes a case that goes federal. The AUSA is satisfied. Your name appears in no news report. One of your agents is quoted by the U.S. Attorney's Office. You recommended them for it. That is the job now. You earn $115,000 a year. You have gray in your hair that wasn't there 3 years ago. Your children ask why you missed dinner again. You tell them it's important. They already know it's important. What they are asking is something else. Level 5. Special Agent in Charge SAC. You run everything in this region. Every squad, every agent, every support officer, every investigation across every county in your geographic area, they all report up a chain that ends at your desk. You have between 100 and 200 personnel. You have a deputy SAC. You have ASACs managing individual divisions. And you have the United States Attorney for this district, who is not technically your boss, but who will make your life very difficult if your cases fall apart in court. You appear in press conferences when the Bureau wants a face on a significant arrest. You are the face. You speak carefully, in approved language, about ongoing matters you cannot fully describe. You have been media trained 3 times. You are still not comfortable with it. Last month, you authorized a wiretap on a city councilor. The investigation is 9 months old. You have not told the mayor's office. You are not supposed to. The day this becomes public, every elected official in this city will call your office simultaneously. You are already prepared for that day. You earn $155,000 a year. You are 47 years old. You have not run a surveillance operation yourself in 11 years. Some mornings you miss it so specifically, you can describe the exact intersection where you sat in a car in the rain in your 2nd year and felt more alive than you have felt since. You do not say this to anyone. Level 6. Assistant Director FBI. Headquarters, Washington, D.C. You run a division. Counterterrorism, cyber, criminal investigations, counterintelligence. One of the Bureau's core directorates now falls under your authority. And what falls under your authority has consequences that extend beyond anything a field office can see from ground level. You brief the director. You sit in interagency meetings with CIA, NSA, and DHS officials who have their own institutional loyalties, their own withheld intelligence, their own version of cooperation. You share what advances the Bureau's position. You receive what advances theirs. You call it coordination. Everyone in the room calls it coordination. No one fully believes it. There is a case running right now in 4 cities simultaneously. You know the details that the field offices do not share with each other. You are the only person who holds the full picture. The decision you make this afternoon about resource allocation will determine whether it closes in 3 months or falls apart entirely. You make the decision, you move to the next item. You earn $185,000 a year. You haven't been to a school play in 2 years. Your spouse has stopped mentioning it. That silence is worse than the complaints were. Level 7. Director of the FBI. You are confirmed by the United States Senate. You serve a 10-year term. This structure was designed specifically after J. Edgar Hoover to ensure that no one person could hold this office long enough to become untouchable. You now understand why Hoover didn't want to let go. You brief the president. You testify before Congress. Open sessions where cameras record everything. Closed sessions where nothing leaves the room. You manage 35,000 employees across 56 field offices, 60 international offices, and a headquarters building that bears the name of a man whose legacy the Bureau has spent 50 years trying to outrun. Every significant domestic threat passes through your office. terrorism, organized crime, foreign intelligence operations running inside American borders, cyber attacks on critical infrastructure. The decision about when to act and when to continue gathering, that is yours. Get it wrong in one direction and people die. Get it wrong in the other direction and your agents spend 3 years building a case that collapses because you moved too soon. You have lost agents. There is a memorial at Quantico with the names of every FBI employee killed in the line of duty. You attended 2 funerals in this role. You spoke at both. You will not describe what that is like. You earned the Senior Executive Service Maximum, around $221,000 a year. It is less than a first-year partner at a law firm in the city you can see from your office window. Nobody in this building chose it for the money. You chose it in front of a computer at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, years ago, when you filled out an application you weren't sure would go anywhere. You did not know yet what yes would cost. You know now, and you would do it again.